Episode 4 of Shogun begins with a message delivered to Omi, Yabushigi's nephew, in Ajiro. Omi is asked to prepare the village for Toranaga's arrival. While the preparations are in full flow, Mariko navigates a difficult situation on the galley. Since John has been promoted to the rank of Hatamato, he now needs a consort. That responsibility falls on Fuji's shoulders. She is vehemently opposed to assuming the charge, but Mariko reminds her of the duty she owes to Toranaga because that's the only way forward, to continue the fight of her husbands and families. When Yabushigi learns about Toranaga's resignation from the council, he is taken aback. Yabushigi shows no hesitation in expressing his views. According to him, Toranaga has signed off on his death by making this decision. The galley reaches Ajiro's shores as Yabushigi's vast samurai army chants his name. However, his joy is short-lived as Toranaga begins speaking. His ferocious speech galvanizes the samurai who begin chanting his name. Toranaga firmly believes that a war is in the offing and those who conspire against Japan must be dealt with appropriately. In another shocking turn of events, Toranaga leaves Ajiro in a small boat, explaining that he has urgent matters to attend to. This leaves everyone in shock, most of all, John. He goes around the place looking for his crewmen. Since the villagers don't understand Portuguese, it is Mariko who clears the air after John is stopped from boarding his ship in the water. Mariko explains that both the crew and the ship now belong to Toranaga. The crew have been placed in the city of Edo for their own safety. John is miffed but understands that he is powerless in this situation. His freedom is only farcical and at Toranaga's mercy. As Hatamato, John is afforded the luxury of a big house, a generous salary, and Fuji as his consort. He is yet again frustrated, as this essentially keeps him in Ajiro as a prisoner while Toranaga is away. He refuses to accept Fuji as his spouse, but Mariko makes it clear that for the next 6 months, she will perform the marital duties regardless of how she feels. During a meeting with Omi and his general, Yabushigi discusses the matters ahead. The general believes that Toranaga has taken Yabushigi for granted. Time and again, the Lord of the Kanto has insulted him, including this show in Ajiro. However, Yabushigi remains composed. When he reprimands Omi for being unable to discern Toranaga's spy in the village, Omi comes up with a well thought out plan to support him. Until Toranaga comes back, the ship and its cannon are Yabushigi's. If he offers it to Ishida as a gift, Yabushigi might be able to get his favour, since Toranaga will be impeached once the 5th council member is found. In a tender moment, Mariko explains to John why Fuji has been made his consort. The conversation also touches upon Japanese culture and customs. Mariko cites the eightfold fence, a concept that she was taught as a child. It's basically like an internal retreat behind which one can find complete solace from everything around them. The next morning brings another confrontation between John and Omi. The latter demands that John give up his guns for the day. However, John refuses to comply. This impasse is broken by Fuji's wit as she takes the guns from John and points them at Omi, asking him to leave the house. Omi has no option but to accept Fuji's demands due to her connection to Hiramatsu. John and Mariko are then summoned by Yabushigi to a vast field. John is tasked with training a gun regiment for Toranaga's army. That was the deal that allowed him his life, but he comes up short when asked by Mariko to talk about a war that he was a part of. To turn the tide in his favour, John suggests an alternative. Since he has been a sea pilot all his life and the English cannons are unlike anything the world has seen, John offers to teach the regiment naval combat. He promises that the cannons can travel a great distance with utmost accuracy. Upon demonstration, all the skepticism is drawn out and replaced by optimism. John begins training the regiment in this combat craft over the next few weeks. Mariko, who has given John's personal diaries by Toranaga before departing, reads them at night to increase her familiarity with them. During one of these sessions, a scout spots Jozen carrying Ishido's flag coming towards him. Nagakado, Toranaga's son, is on alert as Yabushigi greets him. Jozen delivers a demand letter asking Yabushigi to come back to Osaka and explain his treason. He maintains that he had no idea Toranaga was inside one of the carriages. Yabushigi insists Jozen stay back and witness the cannon's ability himself the next day. Since their rapport is quite good, Jozen agrees to the request. If he would have agreed to return, Yabushigi would have had to commit suicide, but now that he has refused to go, he will be declared a fugitive. During dinner, John and Fuji exchange gifts. As a gesture of his gratitude, John gives her one of the guns, and in return, Fuji gives her father's sword to John. While all this is going on, Kiku and Omi are having an affair, but there is enough hint in the episode that she might have ulterior motives. She is possibly a spy for the Christian regents or the Portuguese. This will become clear as we move forward. However, for now, Kiku hasn't acted out. To help out his uncle, Omi comes up with a plan to manipulate Nagakado by using Toranaga's influence against him. Nagakado has always felt that his father still thinks of him as a child and doesn't value his opinion. Omi is successful in luring Nagakado to potentially act rashly instead of asking Toranaga how to proceed. In the best scene of the entire episode, John and Mariko share their feelings about themselves and the world near a hot spring geyser. They are very similar individuals in terms of their outlook and journeys in life. It is perhaps the spark that triggers what Mariko does next. While John is sleeping in his quarters, she quietly slips in, wakes him up, and they have sex. However, the next morning she refuses to acknowledge it, and Mariko instead claims it was a courtesan. Episode 4 then ends on an explosive note. Instead of demonstrating how the cannons work, Nagakado surprises everyone by using them against Shogun and his men. They are absolutely obliterated by the attack and have no defense. Everyone is shocked, none more so than Mariko, who begrudgingly exclaims, "It is war." Thanks for watching, and do let us know what you think of Shogun in the comments below. Feel free to drop a like or subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this recap. Your support is very much appreciated. I'm Greg Wheeler, and from all of us over at The Review Geek, we'll see you on the next video.